What's up, roadies, and welcome to the road trip. It's me, Tommy Russell Jr., and we're here with a sensitive topic, y'all. This one is quite sensitive, and I was a little apprehensive about posting this video. I had made a reaction video to like my first watch of the Super Bowl performance by Rihanna, and the lighting was really bad. It was all off. I couldn't edit it. Like it was just like, no, this is not usable footage. I might insert some clips from it, but like, yeah, we had to scrap that. But I'm kind of glad I did, just because as I saw the conversations happening over the past couple days, I was like, yeah, this could go left or, be on the verge of problematic, I guess. But I do want to say, I have seen certain conversations happening where I had to check my own privilege as a man, someone who cannot get pregnant, right? So I had to, check a couple things in that, check my privilege in that. Thank you to those people who were able to have that conversation and enlighten some of us and really check us. Hell, not even in a nice way, but like be like, hold on, guys. Get it the hell together. So I get that. You know what I mean? Much respect to that. But, you know, I will say I am on the side of unpopular opinion. I thought the Super Bowl performance was boring. And I won't say the whole thing, right? But like I think coming from Rihanna, I expected a little more. Okay. And we'll get into all of that. But I want to start off with the pros. The pros of this show, y'all. First and foremost, her dancers were up. Her dancers were on point from start to finish. I mean, they were, in many ways, the entire show. But they were incredible, y'all. The different moments that they were having. Some of them were dancing on as the platform was going up and down. Like that stuff. That the dancers were insane. I mean, the dancers were crazy, y'all. I can't even. I'm not a dancer, so I can't get into all the technicalities, but the choreo, all of that, like it was definitely highlighted. They rose to the occasion for sure. I also want to talk about the platforms themselves, like the multiple platforms that they had. That stage was dope. Like as I watched it, I was like, "Whoa,
Ooh, that looks sick! Yo, I love this elevation, how they're playing with that, and then multiple of them, not just her. I think that's dope.
that was crazy, y'all. Like, I don't know how I would be terrified to be on those things, let alone having to move on them and like hit all their moves. Like, absolutely. It was really innovative and insane. Like, that whole setup was incredible. I could only imagine what it took to make that come to life for sure. Let's get into the set list, y'all. Iconic, right? We had Rude Boy. That Rude Boy, I remember the first time, real quick detour. I remember the first time that I heard Rude Boy, my TV used to like the alarm would set and it would turn my TV on to MTV. And so Rude Boy had just came out as a music video, and so I'm hearing it like mid trying to wake up, and I hear it and I open my eyes, I look up and I see that, and I'm like that, and the colors and I y'all have no idea how much I love Rihanna, to be honest. Okay, I like how I'd be like I'm beehive adjacent, I'm the bear that kind of gets the honey down. I am like a cadet on the ship of the Navy. You know what I mean? Like I'm in it, but I'm like real low tier, but like I'll die for her. But for real, I love, love, love Riri. She has been ingrained in my life since Pawn the Replay when I lived in Japan and I was in elementary school, y'all. Like, I love Rihanna. I think that she is everything. Like, she is that pop girl in my life that I didn't know I needed, but I loved her down. Absolutely loved her down. Still do. So just let's also preface all of this with like I love her dearly. The set list was iconic, y'all. Like I loved it to sing along with all those songs and be grooving with all those songs. Epic, iconic, everything. That's what I could give that. That set list was on point. and how she came to like condense it all and pick the right ones, like, because there's so many more, right? We know Riri got some hits, and then she still got them deep cuts, right? So we didn't even get into all that because I was ready to see Disturbia. That's my cut. But yeah, y'all, the set list up. When it came to Ree herself, the way she looked, stunning, which was honestly in my first reaction, I was like, it's crazy that I'm not surprised. Like when she first came on, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, she looks incredible, because I feel like she always does.
She looks good, which it's weird that it's not like, oh my gosh, because we see her, right? We always see her. We know that the queen is going to be here.
You know, like I feel like she's always stunning. And one thing about her, our girl Ree, she stays at least on social media. She's promoting Fenty. She's always in interviews. She's always there. So I felt like even though she gave an absence from music, right? She didn't give an absence from our lives. Like we see her all the time, and I live for it. So it wasn't too much of a surprise to see her on screen, but still, I have to say, she looked incredible. She looked flawless. The outfit was great. The red, amazing. When she had that red cape kind of puffer, train situation going on, it was, she looked great. Like that, what do you say? Like, absolutely. We know. Riri looked incredible. Ain't no fight about that. And then to top it all off, her performing pregnant. Her performing pregnant was epic. Like, that is no small feat. No small feat at all. And I still said that in my reaction video. So that's not what I really had to check about myself when I was thinking about, like, her pregnancy being included in this. Her pregnancy being included in this had more to do with, like, what I had expected from her to do in this show. And it was like, and then I was comparing her to other women who have performed pregnant. Women, not just one, but there are multiple women who have been out there who have performed pregnant, right? But I'm just saying, like, I had to check it in that aspect. But to see her do that and be pregnant was like, woo, girl, I couldn't be up in that air. Like her moving around and doing all that stuff still with live vocals. Come on, let's get into it, because there was a lot of live vocals in there. And as we know, I don't technically claim Riri as a vocalist. As much as I love her, I just don't claim her as a vocalist. But she can still hit some notes. She can still give the girls what they need, right? And for those of you who are new, girls encompasses everybody. They, him, she, everybody, okay? She gonna still get the girls what they need, okay? The vocals were on point, to be honest. And for her to be pregnant and giving those vocals, come on, let's talk about it. So kudos to her. But I mean, Ree's performance as a pregnant woman, as a woman, period, but like to also be pregnant, like, whoa. Whoa, I would have been scared as hell being up there like, hold on now, me and my baby, what we go do? We up too high. We're up too high. So Riri doing that, mind blowing, like superhuman. Like I just like she's a woman, right? She's a woman, and women, the love that I have for women is it's great. They have been some of my biggest protectors in life. So I'm always give it up to the women for rising to the occasion like they must, because sometimes we ain't doing what we need to do as men, right? So they always got to do the extra work. So, girl, shout out to you for that part as well. Absolutely. Now to tie it all in, there's one person in particular who really stole the show for me, and I didn't even know about her until after the performance when I was all on social media, but it's her interpreter. Her interpreter was giving me the energy that I had really wanted from Ree. And we'll get into all that in a second. But that interpreter, y'all, she was, bitch, better have my money. Y'all, like, she was giving it, y'all. She was try not to hit this thing, but she was giving it, y'all, the whole time. She was giving it. I mean, when I was watching them clips, homegirl was on it, and I love that energy. And all she was doing was standing there. All she was doing was standing there. She wasn't running around. She didn't have all the gimmicks around her. She didn't have the rising platforms to support her. She didn't have the dancers around her. All of that was in the background, you know what I mean? But like we just saw her. And I was captivated by her performance. I was in tune. And that's where I want to go in my critique of the performance when it comes to what I think it lacked. Okay? Was energy. It lacked energy and it lacked connection. I didn't feel connected to Ree. I did not feel the energy coming from her. Did I have a great time going through her discography and like jamming to it, singing along? Absolutely. I enjoyed that part. Did I enjoy watching the spectacle of it all? I keep looking up because my TV's there and that's how I watched it. But did I enjoy the spectacle of it all? Did I enjoy everything that like everything it encompassed and this moment for her and her coming back to the stage and me suspecting like, is she pregnant? Like all of that was, it was dope. Like all of that was incredible. But Ree did not seem connected. And if you watch her in interviews, if you watch her when she posts Instagram stories, when you just watch her in general, like she's a very bubbly person. Like she's very much that girl. And that's what I also really love about Rihanna is that she is very personable. She doesn't seem out of touch. She always seems to be the girl for the people. You know what I mean? Like she is the people's champ. And that's why I love her. But when I watched her on Sunday, y'all, it just didn't do it for me. It did not do it for me. Like I was in it and then there just came a point where I was just it was falling flat for me.
Who's gonna run this town? I don't know. I'm bored.
It was falling flat. Her facial expressions weren't necessarily there. I didn't necessarily like that she wasn't focused on the camera. Like, it would have been nice to really see her connecting with us. But also, allegedly, and I don't want to say that this is true at all, but allegedly, she wasn't at rehearsals as much. She wasn't, that I'll just say that I heard that she wasn't rehearsing as much, and in some ways it kind of showed. As a performer myself, definitely not at that level yet, but as an actor, right, as somebody who has gotten a degree in this, as somebody who has seen over 200 shows in my lifetime, my first being Janet Jackson, right, when you see these people perform, some of the greats do it, like, you realize that there's just an essence. There's something that they bring to the stage. And I want to say that Rhea is one of those girls. She's never been the type to do dips and tricks and flips and all this kind of stuff. That's never really been her. And to mention her with the greats, I don't want to put it out there like she's not doing her thing on that stage, y'all, because she is great at what she does. She may not be the greatest performer of all time. And that's not fair to necessarily compare her to those people. You know what I mean? It's not fair. That's where the comparison for me really comes at. It has nothing to do with what other women have done when they're pregnant. It has everything to do with like she's a performer. She's somebody who gets on stage and gets paid to do what she does, even though she didn't get paid for the Super Bowl, although the money was there somewhere, right? But even though she didn't get paid, like this is her job. This is what she does. This is who she is. And obviously, she took a long hiatus from that and probably will still be doing that. But, like, this is something that she made her mark in. And so to almost downplay her ability and say, like, oh, well, she's pregnant, so this is why she didn't perform that well. I can't necessarily take that. I can't necessarily take that because she was pregnant. This is why it wasn't all that. I'm putting her on the standard of what she's given us before, and she doesn't give us the runaround and all that kind of stuff. So even suspecting that she was pregnant, I wasn't necessarily over here about like what are her vocals gonna be? Is she gonna give that? Because something that I've heard is like as pregnant women, it affects your breathing, your ability to breathe and things. So okay, cool. I didn't even need to know that in order for me to not be like, oh, I'm expecting like crazy vocals from her, because that's not necessarily Ree. But yet she still hit them, right? But my thing is just comparing her to what is her performance level. And I'm just saying she could have given more. She could have given more. And I know y'all, some of you out there don't want to necessarily admit that, but I'm also going to assume that you've never really watched Ree's performance. I've never seen her live, but if you've seen her, at least let's just flash back to her last kind of touring, her last album for sure, Anti, right? When she was doing her run around with the touring circuits and she was doing the Billboard Music Awards or the VMAs or her Global Citizens performance. Like when she's doing Love on the Brain, baby, she's in it. She's in it and she's feeling it. She's feeling every moment of it. When she's performing those songs, y'all, you got to pay attention. If you haven't seen them, go to them, okay? Go check them out because those performances, y'all, she's giving her all, and all she's doing is standing there. All she's doing is standing there. But she seems so connected and just so in it. So in it. And maybe it's the song selection, right? Let's just say I've been using Love on the Brain, right? Love on the Brain is a very like in it kind of thing, but like she also did Diamonds, right? And Diamonds, the way she performed Diamonds, I'm trying to remember, was it at, I think it was her Billboard performance that she did Diamonds at. But like even that was very spectacular, even though she was just standing there. And I feel like a lot of those moments, like there were dance breaks, right? Too many dance breaks where nothing is happening but us watching the dancers, and Ree is not able to dance at the level of everybody else. I'm going to assume maybe because she's pregnant, right? She can't hit the moves like that. So these dance breaks are leaving gaps where it's a little boring and our focus is on Ree. But if Ree can't give us that level of performance when it comes to the choreography, then it's gonna get a little stale because we're looking at Rihanna. And again, maybe that's my whole thing is I'm looking at her. Like all of this stuff is great, but I'm looking at her. And when it came to like some of the facial expressions, she seemed a little bored. It seemed just a little stale, the energy. Like as a performer myself, something we've learned in school is like you have energy even from the back of you. And I'm trying to remember what song it was. I think it was Work, where the camera's behind her and we're just looking at the dancers, right? But even then, she's so connected with the dancers. She's just dancing with the dancers that like there's back energy. Remember, there's a camera behind you. Like, give me something that's showing me like, give me all that. But it was very much just here. And you see throughout the performance, a lot of her energy is focused with the dancers and she's just dancing with them. But like you have a whole stadium to perform for. You have a whole millions of viewers in a camera that you need to perform for. And I think that's where in the rehearsal, it's like, okay, where the camera's going to be at? We need to go over this. Which cameras do I need to be focused on at what point? Here we go. Like, that's what they get paid the big bucks for. We got to remember that like this is still a job at the end of the day. And obviously again she didn't get paid for this, but what I'm saying is like as a performer, like this is your job and these are things you need to know. And it's not to say that she didn't know them, but it's just like these are little tools, these are little things that she could have utilized to make her performance bigger and better just by engaging with us and really staying with us and then going to the audience and being there. And I think a lot of y'all are gassing this performance up to be like the greatest Super Bowl performance of all time. And I'm sorry to tell you, it was not. It was spectacularly, maybe. Technologically, absolutely, probably, right? Like the staging and everything, I'm sure that that's probably one of the most advanced I've seen or that I can remember. But I just don't think that it was that great. It wasn't that great to where y'all are defending it so hard that if somebody says that it was lackluster or stale or even boring, it's like, how could you come for women? You don't understand that being pregnant and what she had to do. No, we get that. We get that. And to be honest, I haven't even really seen a lot of people say negative things about her being pregnant. Now, I have seen like one, but my algorithm must be like trying to like instigate. So they're only showing me the people that are like, this was the greatest thing of all time. And da, 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 da. But like, I just, I'm not on the side of thinking that it was that great. I'm just not, y'all. And that's really just where I'm coming from, y'all. Is I think it just lacked energy. I think it lacked the fun and excitement. There were points where I think it was Run This Town where it seemed like she was about to get into it. She was jamming with the band and stuff. And then even in Diamonds, she had started to get there, but it just it fell flat. It really did fall flat for me. And it made me a little okay with the fact that she wasn't doing Coachella, but then I also am starting to realize like maybe that's the reason why she didn't go do Coachella was because she was pregnant. And I also wonder, when did she find out she was pregnant? Could we have changed the show up a bit to um fit my pregnancy, or like to um elevate the performance, and I'm still comfortable and I'm still able to do what I want to do and bring what I want to bring, but I feel safe doing what I'm doing. Like how much time was there? I wonder, but I don't know how many months she is. And a documentary could come out about her preparation for this, and this could have been like a really tough pregnancy for her this early on, and so then I might be insensitive. I don't know, but again, I want to remove her pregnancy from the conversation and just say like there's so many things that she could have done that I think she didn't really have to do much work necessarily. I think she could have did maybe less work, but still elevated the performance in a way that I felt more connected. And I think that might be what other people's qualms are about this. Is like they didn't feel as connected to the performance as they would have liked. They didn't feel as engaged when it came to watching the performance, because I'm telling you, I watched it and I was in it, and then I was just like, I'm kind of bored. Like it got to that point, and I just wish it was a little something different. I wish there was a little bit of more excitement. Where was the intro? Like it just kind of started, and I wish that there was something that got us. Remember when Gaga jumped from the damn ceiling or whatever, and she fell down? Not to say that I wouldn't expect that from her, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like there was no entrance into it. We kind of just jumped in. I was like, oh, okay, we're starting. Like
They just started it too. Like they didn't give us no kind of warning.
we didn't even get into it. Milk us in, girl. Bring the spectacular. I don't know. Like, it just, I don't know. It just seemed rushed and like just put together in a medley. And it was just like, okay, here we go. And I think that Rihanna deserved more. And I will say, I think that the fans deserved a little more. I think that we deserved a little more of a performance, seeing as we haven't seen her in a long time, right? I don't even 2016, so at least like 7 years, right? 6 to 7 years. So like give us that, bring us that. But I can say like I can hold on a stadium tour. I can wait on that. It's all good. Like I can wait on that. The music I'm not too pressed about. Bring it out in your own time. I think this performance really allowed me to cool my jets and be like, okay, whenever Rhea's ready to put it out, she's ready to put it out. I'm in no rush. I want her to put it out at a time where she's really ready to bring it all. When I go to that stadium tour, I want her to work her tail off for all my coin. For all of it. And I want to get my life and feel like, man, she put her whole left foot, right foot, everything, her baby, everything, all of the, everything into this performance, y'all. I want to feel like she did it all. She left it all on that floor. And so if it's not that, then I'd rather just not see it, to be honest. I'll be cool with it. I'll live. So yeah, I hope that I didn't, if I did say some things that are insensitive, check me in the comments, check my privilege, check my ignorance, all of that good stuff. Hey, I respect it. But I'm trying to like remove it from the conversation, but also say if it is a part of the conversation, here are some things that could have been done differently. And here are some things that just could have been done in a way that still made her feel safe, still made her feel comfortable, but still elevated the performance. So that's my real critiques about it and my review of it. I still think it was a great show, y'all. I still had fun. I still thought it was spectacular. her and all that good stuff. And shout out to Riri, because baby, even though it may not be at the level that I had wanted it to be at, like, you still did your thing, mama. You still was out there killing it. You still had your Fenty moment. You know I love that. Okay? She said, baby, we gon' go ahead and pull out the dab pack.
She gonna fix her. Give me, come on, give me that's the little, what is it, oil pack, the little, her little oil strips, because I know she was using Fenty, baby.
You know, I wanted that. It's them little papers, the makeup papers, the oil blots. Yeah, go ahead and pull that out real quick. Or was it powder? I don't know. But either way, she had her moment, okay? Love that for her. I live for it. I absolutely live for it. No hate on that. Absolutely not. Yeah, she still did her thing. She still had a good time, y'all. But next time we see her, I want to see where I know she can perform at. I want to see that level of it. I want to see her at that level. But either way, I'm still glad that we were able to be graced with her presence. I had fun. I enjoyed it. Love Riri. And yeah. So that's the road trip, y'all. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, like this video. You could thumbs down it too if you didn't feel what I was saying. Hey, it is what it is. Like I always say, fight me in the comments about it. But until the next video, y'all, I'll see y'all on the road trip. Later.